Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So we're going to be modeling a YT-2000 ship from Star Wars. I don't know where it has shown up, like in the older video games or whatnot, I'm not sure. First I just need the images so I can get some reference down. Pull in this one image, I'm going to use it for 3 different views. Okay. So that'd be 1. I need top view and side and front. So go to the front view. Make that one the top. Just going to add the same image. I think that was the front view, yep. And then we'll go on the side here. Now I gotta line all this up. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's try to line this up best I can. Let's see. This isn't really going to be exact, but should be close enough. Whoops. Well, that's going to have to do for that one. Let's go to the front view and hopefully this will line up pretty good and we can That only depends on how accurate the drawing is. That looks good there, and then we'll do the side and we should be able to start here. That looks centered. Front. Cool, I think that'll do it. Now we can get this show going. Let's see. I'm going to start with the top shape here. I think I'm going to do the... Just rough out the shape here. I'm going to really ramp this up a bit. I didn't pre-plan any of this. I'm just kind of doing it off the cuff here. Bring that up there. I think we got to bring this one up here. So that, and I think the bottom is, if I'm not mistaken, the bottom's pretty much a mirror image of the top. So I'll just worry about the top at the moment. And when we get to detailing that, that's going to be, that ought to be fun. Those, oh, those are the guns. Let's see. That's about good. I'm just gonna close that in and oh, and there's that little window over there too. So let's bring that over. Like that. Can't tell if that's correct or not. Let's see. Oh, that's one thing I screwed up. Let's see, so I need to switch this picture. It's top view. So when I do move that, it's gonna coincide with the side view. Let's see, does that? There we go. So that should work out for the side. Yep, there we go. Alright, there's the top piece. Now I'm going to be flipping back and forth here quite a bit. So I can probably just go ahead and do this long fuselage part here. So I'm just going to be roughing out the entire shape of the model with no real detail or anything. At this point. And I'm going to take some liberties with the details later on because the images I have aren't the greatest. Now, is that a circle? It looks circular. Can't really tell. Kind of smooshed a little bit. And I can already see that size is going to be a little different, but that's no big deal. So. Actually, let me bring this back a little bit. I'm actually going to make a separate object here. Oops. Start that there, and I don't really like that straight edge on that. Bring it down, give it a little bit of a slope. And do that, and this will just be the rough shape. I'm going to have to go in, and there's going to be a lot of tweaking on this cockpit part. There we go. Let's see what we got here. Looking all right. See, I'm going to take that. Oh, whoops. Didn't want to hide it. Position that there, and I'll just remove all of this. I'm not going to do the other side yet. I'm taking it that this is more of a shape like the Millennium Falcon, not round. Yeah. Check the side view, and yeah, I got a bit of an octagon there. So actually, let me go ahead and do that shape. I'll do circle. It's going to be 8. I gotta rotate that 22.5. There we go. Let's see, position that. I'm gonna squish a little bit. Trying to see how. So it's going to be bigger than the round things. I just don't want to get too out of alignment. So I will eyeball it and we'll put it about right there. Oops. Bring her out. Shaping up. Let me close this in just alrighty. See, I don't really want to do the bottom yet because that's going to be the same as the top, and I'll just worry about the details first and then flip it around. So I'll kind of work on the top in the cockpit and the stuff on the side here, but just for visual we can do this. Just go ahead and mirror it over and so it'll give us a kind of a view of the whole thing, and I can do that with this top part too. Just mirror that down and shaping up a little bit. Now this back piece, trying to determine what shape. So I don't know if I have a image of the back end of it so much other than just this top. So let's just do this big chunk first. Just add a cube for that one. And let's see. Do that. I'll be bringing that down in a second. And let's go here. Yeah, looks like I need to cut it a little bit and bring that down and yeah, I need to pull that top part in. I'm happy with it. And I think that's a oval if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I'm gonna extrude this out. I'm just going to get the length here and then I'll turn around on the back and kind of eyeball it. But I do need to kind of recenter this. There we go. And I'm actually going to cut this in half, so then just put a mirror modifier on it so I don't have to extend both sides. So we'll do that, and should have done this first. Oh well. So that's still pretty centered there. So let's just do this. I think I need to get a section in the center just for see, let's give it that much bit of an overhang there. Bring that up. And let's see. Not looking too shabby. That center part looks a little big though. Well, maybe not. And once I get those arms on there, it might look alright. Now, let's see. Kind of guessing on this back part here. I'm just going to do that first. And I'll mirror this too, because I don't want to be working on two sides of it. So we'll bring that back here and see what we got. Take it. Let me just get the top shape done first, and then alrighty. Let's see. I just take it up from here, and I can just mirror it down. Hoping I can find some. I have a few other detailed images. Give me better perspective, but let's do pull that down. It's a little tricky bit, because those edges aren't sharp. Don't know if I really like that either, but actually that doesn't look too bad. But before I set that, I'm going to copy this object and get back here. I'm going to move it to a different layer just to hold it off for later in case I need to come back to it. But I'll bevel these edges for the time being. And let me mirror that down. I'm going to close this off, but I know there's an inset for the engines there. Huh, looks like the shape's coming together good. I like it. Okay, let's go ahead and do plane here for these, and try to keep my line straight. That there, move this down. That's gonna go back. I'm going to need Actually, that's not going to matter so much. The angle of this cut, I'll just go ahead and straighten it out. I'll fix that discrepancy later. It's the only problem using, you know, these, so, you know, blueprints that aren't really technically accurate, I guess. You're gonna find a lot of things that don't jive from view to view. And let's do that and that. It's kind of similar to that Sith Fury that I worked on. At least this part is. So I don't. Take it, that's going to be under there. I'm going to mirror this now, just and X. Let's fix that. That doesn't look good. There we go. Alright, we got our makings of a ship here. That didn't take all that long either. Only thing I didn't do was the gun jet, but that's a detail element. We can do that at another time. I'm going to probably go for another 30 minutes or so. Don't know how compelling something like this can actually be. And if you can't hear me, let me know. So you get to this point where you have your shape and you have to get down to detailing. You have no idea where to start. Let's just start somewhere. Because you look at a lot of it and it's like, I don't want to do that because that might be too difficult, or I don't want to do that. Let me cut. You can just cut these areas out here. I can do that. Let's see. Or wait, no, those are cut. How are those? You can probably just remove all of that. See what that does. Can always fill that little bit in later. It's a good spot to put some pipes and stuff. Oh, I didn't take it off the other side. Yeah, a lot of this I'll be able to mirror around the ship. And I think, let me leave that, go around. Actually, is that hurting anything? I'm going to put a loop here just so when I do take, do I want to take that one? No. Take these. Oops. See how that looks. That actually worked. Let's do this front bit here. Ooh, that lined up pretty good, actually. This one isn't, but got to keep it symmetrical. And I'll kind of fix any of the offsettings and stuff. Oops. Alright, yes. Calculate that. I think I need to recalculate this one too, because the shading's all off. That is neato. I don't know, is that open? Oh, that's open, so. Get rid of some of these. Do that. So now we just got a big open hole there. It looks like there's just kind of a flat, generic, oops. Okay, let's create, actually, let me take, not that, I'm gonna actually duplicate that and make a new object. Oops. Can't remember if I didn't mirror that piece. So what? Oh, I did, so. But the clipping's not on, so it's not. There we go. Turn that on so it wasn't merging in with itself. So there's that. And I'll take this. Well, since that's mirrored, I'll go ahead and duplicate that, make a new object. Let's see what happens. Clipping's not on that one either. Oop. Shazam. But I don't have it mirrored across the X. I do now. Alrighty, that's looking good. Now this is where you start feeling overwhelmed at the detail that's got to go into this. Yeah, boy. That's where to start. I think I'm kind of going to work around. I want to do this part. Or this bit. Until I dig up the look for the engines. And the detail on this is going to have to be actually, I'm going to pull another image in here. Because I had a few others that had a little more detail. These were like actual built models. Got a lot more detail on. I just don't have a picture of the engines except back here. Let me pull this one in. Actually, that doesn't really show me anything. Well, a little bit. I don't know if that's a toy or just a old built model. That gives some detail on the back. You can work with that. I'm going to pull in that other one with the front. Oi, come on. I need to bookmark that folder. There. Now I don't have to go digging for it. That's a Millennium Falcon over here. I just pulled that for some detail. So this is a different iteration. This is like a Millennium Falcon hybrid thing. I'm going to pull this one in. I don't like the opacity like that. So that kind of gives a little bit of detail there. And not to overdo it, but one more. Bookmark. This one. Oh, that's got a good. That's got good, and that's nice and clean too. So you kind of just take liberty with it a little bit, I guess. Just gonna be a mamma jamma when it's done. So I want to block out the detail, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball what we got here. Whoops. Bring that up a little bit so I can see it. And bring it over. Down. There we go. Might actually kind of make it a little smaller so I can at least have it visible while I'm working on. I'm going to pull this out. Give me a little more room. So looks like a Saturn V rocket. So I'm going to cut. This is where we start cutting things away here. Let's see. Run remove. So we'll have this piece here, and I'm going to do a separate one here, so maybe I can put some detail on the line. So I'll go ahead and break that off. Break that piece is going to be, ooh, that can be split. This one looks like it's got like windows or something. Actually, that would look good. That's a fuselage for coming up to the cockpit. Having windows there would look kind of cool. I think I'll do the windows and do the details on the top and stuff. I think windows there would be kind of cool looking. Make it a little more homey. One problem with not having a plan, you kind of just sit and do nothing for a little bit. Let's make a collar here. So I'm going to leave this. Actually, I might make this a little longer. Accommodate them windows. Bring this in. Give it a cut here. So we can have collar detail. Maybe, what's it got here? One collar and then the, so let me do that. Now I'm getting a little nitpicky with the proportions. So that'll be good, I think. And I can kind of move this detail up onto this front portion. I don't like how long that window is, unless it's supposed to be that way. But these images show it pretty, we can always change it later once we start kind of getting detail in. And so don't want, so actually I can kind of maybe move this back a little bit. That can extend this. That's, oops. Change the angle on this bit. So now we can have a longer little section here. Why does that look so much smaller? It's not oblong, is it? I might actually. Just a little bit. Yeah, I think that looks good size-wise anyway. Let's pull that. Oops. Kind of want this collar smaller than Let's put that down there, and I might actually kind of make that smaller but raised up a little bit. Think we need crap on my glasses. All right. Oops. Let's do a cut. I'm just kind of setting up for down the road. Don't necessarily know what I'm gonna do detail wise, but actually I like the idea of that being smaller. Bigger, smaller. Close that off just for a bit. I kind of want to make that part like the Fury. I want to set this down inside a little bit. Don't like the way that's coming up, but I can put a, yeah, I don't like that fully coming up like that. I might put a kind of a connector piece, but I want this to run into the back like it is, but I can put like a little connector or something or other. So let's see where we're at here. It's that, and I don't know if I bring no, if I don't like that, because I can do this and then yeah, I think I'll do that. I can always bring that bit forward though if I don't like the shape. Okay, so I just want a full on, if I want to have this ledge here. Don't know yet. I'll just leave it. I can always move it back. And actually, first thing I'm gonna do before I go screwing around with any of this stuff, and duplicate everything. Oh, I didn't want to do that. But I'll move this over here to my last layer. Get rid of this extra light and camera. So at least I have that to fall back on in case I horribly mangle this part. I kind of like if this was in further. Let me do a little bit of an angle. kind of want to inset this too. I don't know how that is represented. So yeah, that is cut into it. So let's cut into it. That's just going to go into there, so let's see. Actually, I think I'll pull this in a good amount and maybe even scale it. I don't know if that adds anything to it or not. I'll do that, but I gotta move this first. Which is actually, that would be... Yeah, I think I like that better. Oh, extra stuff for some stuff and detail stuff. Ooh, let me fix this. There we go. I don't know if I like how far that's pushed in there. Yeah, it doesn't need to be then in that far. Now's the process of just tweaking and agonizing and second guessing, and let's do that. I think I'm going to apply the mirror modifier here for a minute. So I can do this. Just kind of check our little reference here. Oh, that's gotta... It's not round. Do I like the round, or should I angle it? Bring the mirror modifier back. I'll worry about that later. 'Cause I don't know if I want to do... If I want to match the angular bits of everything else, or just kind of leave that round to kind of give it a little bit of a different look. For the time being, I'm gonna leave it. Maybe pull that out a bit. Bring it there. I like it. I think this is going to look really cool. I think I am going to leave it there for the moment until next Monday, if I don't get to this again on Wednesday. So if not Wednesday, then next Monday at 7 Mountain Time. And then we'll just continue on with the detailing and start shaping this bad boy up. I better save this before I lose it. And I'm not in a folder that I want to save it in. There we are. I'll just leave it untitled for the moment. Alright, looks good, and I will see you next week. I appreciate you watching, and have yourself a good night.